family, peace and love. It's your boy Chris Enlightened coming back again with some more spiritual vittles. And today I'm going in on food on your altar. This is a good one, family. This is a good one. You see, a lot of people inquire about what type of food they should put on the altar, how much food, when to eat it, is it okay to eat it, should I eat it, things like that about food on your altar. First off, whenever I eat, I give my ancestors a little bit. I don't care if it's breakfast, if it's lunch, if it's dinner, I at least feed them at least one good meal a day. I also have a secondary offering on my altar as well. That way if I'm out of town or something like that, I'll have some food on my altar that will sustain them while I'm away for a week or so. First off, whatever type of food you want. I don't care if you eat bacon and eggs and cheese and turkey bacon and sausage and all that, give your ancestors a little bit. If you like pancakes, give your ancestors a little bit. Even if you eat oatmeal every morning, give your ancestors a little oatmeal. I've done it in the past. It's okay, they'll take whatever. But if you're eating steak dinners, you don't want to give your ancestors some Fritos. You know what I mean? The ancestors and the gods know what you can give. You know what I mean? If you're eating filet mignon, shrimp, and you feed your ancestors a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, that's disrespectful in my book. That's just disrespectful. If you have a peanut butter and jelly budget, then it will be okay to give your ancestors peanut butter and jelly. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand some situations may be different. You know, up north sometimes we get freezed out where we can't leave the house for a week. And if all you have is peanut butter and jelly, and you feast enough of peanut butter and jelly, I'm pretty sure your ancestors may have eaten a peanut butter or jelly sandwich a time or two in their life. Secondly, should you eat the food after you've offered it? Are you a spiritual Indian giver? That's all I want to ask you. Are you? So why would you eat something that you've offered to someone? You know what I mean? The ancestors aren't here in our physical reality, but whenever you give them something, it's theirs. What I do, after I give my food to my ancestors, the next day when I replace their food, I just throw it out. I'll throw it out. What you'll learn is after you activate your altar and you gain enough power within your altar, after being consistent and diligent for days in and months and years, your altar would gain power. And if you put like an apple over there, you'll notice that that apple will last for a year without decomposing or getting brown. It'll get like spiritually petrified. You can cut into it and it'll still be juicy. It's weird how it works. That's one way. I did a video on testing your altar's power, and that's one thing that I've done over the years. I've noticed that watermelon, cantaloupe, whatever I put on my altar lasts a lot longer on my altar than it would if I just left it on a counter or something like that. Strangely enough, even flowers. You'll buy some roses, and I used to put roses and flowers on my altar back in the day, and I noticed that the one rose I put on my altar lasts for months, but the rose that I was watering and trying to take care of outside of my altar lasted a couple weeks. So that was my proof that there's something going on. There's something magical going on about the altar. Another thing about the ancestors' food, how long should you leave it over there? If I eat every day, I feed my ancestors every day. If I'm fasting, I still feed my ancestors every day. I'm fasting. They don't need to fast. The purpose of the food is to give your ancestors energy. We get energy through food. Like if we take a fruit from a tree, we're essentially eating the sunlight that's in the form of fruit. And that's the same way. When photosynthesis happens, when the sun hits the tree and it grows the fruit, when we take the fruit, we're eating the energy of the sun. And the same thing goes for your ancestors. When you give them food, they're not physically biting the food, but they're partaking in the energy that resides within the food. Okay, family? That's the reason why it's good to put ancestor food on your ancestor altar. Well, regular food, there's no such thing as ancestor food. I just call it ancestor food. You know, whatever I'm eating, I'm like, okay, I'm going to set this aside because this is going to be my offering. You know, I'd like to get it out my plate early because towards the end, you're like, ooh, I want that last piece, ooh. So, if you're like me, set your ancestor food aside early. That way you don't forget about them. Tip number 5. I don't know what tip I'm on, but tip number 5. After you're done with your ancestor food, it's okay to just throw it in the trash. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to bury it. You don't have to burn it or anything like that. Truthfully, you can do whatever you want with it. Your altar is nothing more than a physical representation of your spirituality. There is no rules. There are no rules. All I'm doing is telling you what I do and what works for me and my spiritual dream team. There's a bunch of us out here winning. There's a bunch of us out here got our ancestor altar up. And this channel is nothing more than a platform for you to learn and do the same and start winning. So on that note, family, peace and love. Feed your ancestors daily. Meditate daily. Burn money at your ancestor altar daily. Say prayers daily. Give love and light. Be joyous at your ancestor altar. I don't want you to be at your ancestor altar like, please help me, ancestor. Please. Don't be like that. Whatever energy you put out there in the ether comes back to you. So if you put soaking, pleading energy, you're going to have a pleading, soaking reality. I like to give thanks in advance at my altar. Give thanks for this challenge. Give thanks for letting me pay all these bills. Give thanks for me having safe travels. Thanks in advance. Because what you think in the ether occurs real time, and it takes time to manifest it in this reality. So if you're thinking sad, you're thinking sulking, you're thinking pessimistic, you're going to extract that energy into your reality. Always have winning energy and joy in your life, okay, family? So on that note, peace and love. Check us out every Monday morning, evening at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with my lovely wife, Divine Queen, on Twin Flame Radio. That's blogtalkradio.com/Twin Flame Radio. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Subscribe right now. I want to hear about your wins at your altar. I want to hear about what type of food you like to put on your altar. Subscribe and let me know. I'll get back with you for sure. Well, on that note, family, peace and love. Winning!